8 years after Mallory and Irvine vanished, a new team dared to return to Everest. Storms raged, avalanches struck. Then, high on the ridge, they found a single ice axe, the only clue to the mountain's greatest mystery.
It's 2:20 a.m. I'm still buried in the Himalayan Club Journals, century-old field notes from the Himalayas. It's like diving deep into the documented history of the Himalayas from the early 1900s. The journals cover everything, from indigenous wisdom, cultural myths, to epic expeditions and groundbreaking discoveries. These forgotten stories are brought to life by synthetic voices in the Himalayan Journals podcast. Subscribe, zone out, binge, and pass it to a fellow mountain junkie.
More than 8 years passed after the survivors of 1924 left the Rongbuk Valley. Then, late in August 1932, permission arrived from the Tibetan government for another attempt on Mount Everest. The Mount Everest Committee met at once under Admiral Sir William Goodenough and began to choose a party for an early start. Brigadier E.F. Norton and Major Jeffrey Bruce could not leave their duties, so Hugh Ruttledge was invited to lead, chosen for knowledge of Himalayan peoples and mountains. The plan was to take a fairly large party, with almost every man, except perhaps the leader and the chief transport officer, capable of reaching the summit. Medical examinations by the Royal Air Force Board and doctor. Claude Wilson aimed to remove any pronounced weakness. The final team included Ruttledge, E. St. J. Burney, Hugh Bowstead, T. A. Brocklebank, G. G. Crawford, Dr. G. Raymond Green, P. Wynne Harris, J. L. Longland, Dr. W. McLean, E. O. Shebeer, E. E. Shipton, F. S. Smythe, L. R. Wager, and G. Wood Johnson. Many had recent Himalayan experience. The expedition left England toward the end of January with 4.5 months to organize. Innovations included a new tent design, a 12.5-pound oxygen apparatus, and a wireless set financed and worked by D.S. Richards. Strategy took shape before leaving. The party would acclimatize by a slow advance up the East Rongbuk Glacier, establish Camp 4 on or near the North Col, then speed up for at least 3 assaults within 8 days. Most of the team assembled at Darjeeling on the 17th of February. Dr. S. N. Sen at Alipore warned of western disturbances and an early monsoon. 72 Sherpas and Bhutias were enlisted, examined, treated, and equipped. Signals officers joined to support Mr. Richards and 3 NCOs of the 1st 3rd QAO Gurkha. Rifles arrived to guard stores and organize camps. After receiving the passport at Gangtok, the march followed the usual route via Phari, Kampadzong, Tinkidzong, and Shekardzong to Rongbuk. The Lama blessed the expedition. The base camp was established on the 17th of April, 12 days ahead of predecessors. Illness struck early. Crawford developed chest trouble, Wynne Harris influenza, and a Porter pneumonia, the last saved by oxygen and a rapid descent. By May 2nd, camps the Forshutko and the 3rd stood at 17,700, 19,800, and 21,000 feet. The North Col then confronted the party with a 1,200-foot wall of snow and ice. The route of 1924 had become an unbroken ice slope out of the question for laden porters. The line approximating 1922 remained with avalanche memories in mind. From 3 to 15 May step cutting and fixed ropes slowly forged away in morning lulls between gales. Smythe and Shipton surmounted a 40-foot ice wall with pitons, handholds, and, at last, a rope ladder. A ledge 250 feet below the crest served as Camp 4 on the 15th of May. Weather then ruled. A message on 12th May reported the monsoon advancing off Ceylon. Gales trapped Camp 4 until 19th May. Stores were pushed up under dangerous snow. On 22nd May, Camp 5 was set at 25,700 feet. Green strained his heart and withdrew. That night, a storm of almost hurricane force blew from the west and lasted to the morning of the 25th. Camp 4, threatened by avalanches, shifted up to the North Col. On 29th May, Wynne Harris, Wager, and Longland with 8 porters placed Camp 6 at 27,400 feet, higher than any camp before. The porters who reached that height were Ong Tarka, Da Tsering, Nima Dorje, Ong Tsering, Kipa Lama, Pasang, Tsering Tarka, and Rinsing Tarka. On the 30th of May, Wynne Harris and Wager began the first assault. Near the first step, they found an axe lying free on smooth slabs, believed to have been carried by Mallory or Irvine. They examined the second step, rejected a frontal attack, traversed below the black bands, crossed the great couloir, and reached about 28,000 feet. Time, fatigue, and dangerous slabs forced a retreat. On the 1st of June, Smythe set out after Shipton turned back unwell. Smythe reached the same place as the previous day, judged the snow-covered slabs impossible, and descended through another storm. Rest at the base camp followed. A return to Camp 3 by the 15th of June found the North Col ropes buried, the latter half visible, and avalanches frequent. Conditions made any new attempt unjustifiable. The committee recalled the expedition, and on July 2nd, the party left, beaten by an abnormal season. From this campaign, the party noted a likely best window between 7th May and 15th June, the limited effect of snow removal during the monsoon, the possible value of lighter oxygen near the final pyramid, and the promise of Norton's traverse over a renewed attempt on the second step. Improvements in tents, boots, and rations were desirable. Acclimatization worked, but delay on the North Col allowed deterioration. In the end, selection remained difficult, and success would need organization, a fit party, and a run of fine weather at the right moment.